Check, check. Okay, so this is all recording so that you guys can look at it later. But oh, I have to add more people. Hey guys, welcome. Uh, all right, so I've never done this before, so we'll see how things go. But the first thing I'm going to do is try to share. Well, okay, so I'll go over the form. The first question you guys had is like coming up with ideas for your logo. So if you haven't done so already, your group should have a piece of paper that looks something like this. And this is basically just going to be a quick brainstorm of different logo ideas. And some of them are going to be good and some of them are going to be not so good. And that's okay. But if you guys have not done this yet, I would encourage everyone in your group to kind of throw these ideas out. From there, I took a couple of those ideas and I kind of drew some more detailed sketches. And I'm going to take these into a website called Vector, which is one that you should be able to use from your Chromebook if you cannot access the other Creative Cloud apps. So I'm going to screen share now. And hopefully you can see what I'm doing right now. Somebody comment, like type a comment so I can see if I can. I want to make sure I can see you guys. Is there like a chat? Can you like say something to me? Anyone? Okay, hi. Thank you, Diego. Okay, so yeah, again, I'll leave that chat window open, and you can see my screen right now, Diego. You can see this form. Adrian, yes, yes, cool. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna go to the Vector app, and what I've done is I put this roots thing in my. I took a picture of it, so it's in my Google Drive, and I will go ahead and download that. And so if I go into Vector right now, and I'm assuming you guys can get on this website. I had one student tell me they couldn't, but I had asked admin to unblock it. So hopefully you guys can get on here if you can't use a PC. But from here, I just created a new document. You can create a new account, log in with Google, and then I'm gonna click upload image. And in my quick access, I just downloaded oops, let's see here. Let's see here. We're gonna go to this one. I don't know, whatever. There's a line. Okay. So I'm going to, I don't know how to get my other file in there. I thought I downloaded it, but I'll just go ahead and start from here. So I have this image right here that I'm going to be going off of. And if I start with some text and I draw a box, I can just type in, so my name is Roots. And using the pen tool, you can just like you would in Illustrator, you can draw anything that you need to draw right there. So just like in Illustrator, you can manipulate these curves. So if you double click on them, zoom in, and it allows you to come in and you can adjust the bendiness of the curves. And if you hold down, if you double click on a point, it'll come up into a corner and you can bend the corner. And using control, you can bend it like this. So that is going to basically be anything that you need. Oops, I got some more people. This is going to allow you to do anything that you need to create your logos. The only thing that I was having some issues with is text as far as getting the fonts that you need. So let me just type in Roots again. Oops. And then I want to get this to be the correct font. So in order to get to that, I go to text right here. Oops. And over on the side here, it's going to give me all the options. So these are the fonts that I have downloaded on my computer. The only thing I'm not sure you're going to be able to do is get the Adobe fonts that you might have used for your project, that you guys have chosen a font. You may not be able to get it here, in which case you're just going to have to find one that looks as close to it as you possibly can. So I'll just go to Roboto here and stick this font down here, and basically just try to create a design that looks like one of your drawings. And when you're done kind of creating a basic sketch, maybe make a copy of it and try using, you know, different colors and different fonts and all this stuff, just like we did in Illustrator. And eventually you can kind of fill your artboard up with a bunch of different ideas and designs. You can fill this in by going over to here under background color. You can select any color that you need. Right here, you can choose the actual hex number. So if you have a number that you've chosen from your color scheme, you can just type it right in as a hex number, and that'll get you that exact same color. So at this point, I'm going to stop for a second and see if anybody has any questions about creating your logo, how you can use this program. So if you do, you can go ahead and unmute your mic and talk to me, or you can type them over here, whatever you want to do. Okay. So no questions. All right. Does that make sense? Does anybody want me to go any further? My partner's already created the logo. That's fine. Anybody want me to go any further on this, or just you kind of get how to use this program?
Can you go like a little more farther, please?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So
Thanks.
yeah, so I had, like, for example, like a root kind of coming out of the letters. So if I wanted to try to use the pen tool and like create a letter R with normally I don't recommend that you try to create letters with a pen tool because it's a lot easier just to type them. But let's say that you wanted to kind of do the root system, oops, and draw something a little bit more complex. The problem I'm having here is that the stroke is too thick. So what I can do is come in on this and go into my border right here and just, oops, let's change that to a smaller number like 0.1. And then it's going to be thinner. So now I can come in, if I want to make it brown, I can go into the background color and choose a brown color, especially if you guys already have some colors chosen. And then as far as getting that little circular area, I can go back to the pen tool, click, drag, click here, and maybe just fill this little section in with white and give it, oops, a 0.1 border as well. So that would be my R. I mean, obviously you can do a better job than that, but you can double click on each of these points and then you can move them around. And again, if you hold down Alt, you can turn them into anchor points that you can manipulate. So anything that you created in Illustrator, I know it's been a while since we used that program, but you can create in this program and create a bunch of designs. And again, I encourage you to create a bunch of different things here, not just one, and just kind of show your partners and see which one you like the best and go with that. All right, I see another question. Something about somebody's partner still no sign of communication. Yeah, if one of your partners isn't communicating, I can try contacting them myself, but I don't know. That's a tough situation. So let me deal with that one-on-one, and we can go from there. About one of my prior posts, you said that those videos were about logo and budget, but there was never any video. Did the videos have anything specific or super notable? I did do a video on this program, I believe, and I also did a video on creating a budget. Were you guys able to see those? if I go into Classroom, if I scroll down here, this is one for, let's see here. This is Vector. This little video right here shows you how to use Vector. So basically what I just went over right now. Um, I also go over that there. And then I have one on Adobe Spark. And then I also, um, I have one on budget somewhere. Eh, I don't know. I'll go over the budget right now. But, oh, style guide and budget is right here. So this video kind of goes over that. Yes, they are on different posts, Lily. That is correct. And yeah, some of you said that your partner's already created a logo. That's fine. If you guys want to, if you've already gotten it, you're good. But if you want to try a few other ideas, that's fine too. When you're done with this, you can just take the final product and you can export it with this button, and you can just save it as a PNG file and upload that, and that's fine. Okay, what are some things we can get with the budget? Okay, that's what I'm going to go over next. So let's talk about budgets. This is what your budget looks like, and this is your task list, which, you know, if you want to try to continue to use, that's probably nice if your partners kind of know what is expected of them. But let's talk about the budget. So I did a video where I kind of just quickly went over this. Like, let's say you're doing a restaurant. Christian, tell me what kind of business you guys are doing, and I'll try to give you an example of what you could do. So Christian, what's your company? Clothing and sportswear? Okay. So let's say, I mean, website's pretty easy. Hosting a website for a year, you know, cost of hosting a business website for 1 year. And it kind of depends on the size of your business, but you can look at like a website like Wix, and the cost is not to create the website, because again, that's your company's job. The cost is going to be to host the website. So you're going to have to do a little bit of research and kind of see what kind of costs they're going to be. Um, that's not going to give me the information I need, but yeah, you're going to have to do some research here. How much should I pay for web hosting? And I'm just $5 a month. That's pretty cheap. So if you know, that's not going to eat up much of your budget, but I just assumed it's going to be a bigger business. So I went ahead and budgeted $500 for, make sure you say specifically, for 1 year of hosting. So that's going to be how much that's going to cost. Now, if it goes in your budget, you have to create it, which means over the next few weeks, your partners are going to have to actually create a website. And I'll go over how to actually create those things later on. So let's look at something else. Facebook ad campaign for 10,000 clicks. So again, you're going to have to Google how much would it cost to get a Facebook ad campaign per, you know, how many clicks. I budgeted $2,700 for this. And again, if you decide you're going to create a Facebook ad campaign, you actually have to create the Facebook ad campaign. Clothing and sportswear. Let's look at something else. Maybe you guys are going to put up some posters on a bus. I don't know, or like a billboard. So bus advertisement in San Francisco. So you're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to find out how much it costs to advertise on Muni, if that's what you want. I mean, you have to, it depends on where is your target audience, who are you trying to reach, but this will kind of give you some, you know, you'll have to do some research and it'll tell you approximately the cost. Now, this is probably going to eat up a huge amount of budget. If you were to do something like this, it's probably going to be way more than $5,000. So, you know, look at maybe something more local like Modesto, or I don't know. It depends on if you're a global market or not. Maybe you want to do an ad on YouTube. So if that's the case, maybe you want to have like just a 5-second YouTube spot for that's going to reach, you know, again, you have to get a certain number of people. So how much is it going to cost to do 10,000 people? And you're going to have to go online and figure out what that is. But let's say that that's right there, $3,000. Now, at this point, I'm already over budget. So you'll have to kind of play around with that. Diego says he's doing a YouTube ad and he's already added to the budget. Yeah, that's fine. How much did that cost, Diego? Okay, he's checking. Uh, but yeah, I mean, how many things should you have on here? It's really up to you. But the goal here is to bring in as much business as you can for your client. So if it's just a YouTube ad, you have to convince me, the client, that that's all that $5,000 is well spent. That's the best use of it. I would say it would be pretty crazy to not have a website for your company, unless they just happen to be a really niche, like local business. I would think that that would kind of be a must. So I would definitely encourage you to do this. As far as how much it's going to cost, depends on how big of a business. If it's going to be getting a ton of traffic versus a small local thing. Um, Facebook ads are a great way. Instagram ads are a great way to go. A Snapchat filter. So like you could decide, if you do a Snapchat filter, you have to tell me exactly, how big is it going to be. So let's say 4 square blocks. Oops. And you got to tell me how long is it going to be for 1 year. And that might end up costing, make that bigger. I don't know. Maybe that costs $500. And then again, you have to actually create the Snapchat filter, but that's going to be in the coming weeks. You don't need to do it right now. And then Diego says 1,000 per 10,000 people. Okay, that's pretty good. So for 10,000 people, it's $1,000. That's a pretty good use of the money, I think. How do you make a website, Lily, or Snapchat filter? Again, that's going to be the work of the coming weeks. You don't need to worry about that right now. I will be teaching you how to do those things coming up. So I think I've covered the major issues that you guys wanted me to cover as far as your budget. Oh, how to get in touch with your um, other group members. That's a question people have been having. Let me show you. There's one thing that you can do that this keeps getting in my way. Get out of the way. Okay. If you go to Classroom, somebody try this right now if you can. For me, I can change the post so that only a certain number of people can see it. So I can say Lily and her partner Mackenzie and Nora. Um, so if I want to just talk to them, I can do that. Are you guys able to do that? Could somebody tell me if you can from Classroom? No, you're not. Okay. So what I've done for some people, like Lily right now, Lily, can you go to this message right now and just quickly um, reply to it? And so what this is going to allow Lily to do is her and her partners can now use this to communicate with each other, I think, and they are the only ones who could see it. And so if you cannot get in touch with your partners, what I can do is I can create one of these for your group. Now, I cannot guarantee that your partner is actually going to respond to you if you get on here and you say something to them. Um, but if they're not and you could email me, then I'll try calling your partner and seeing if I can get them to communicate with you that way. For the most part, I think most people are doing pretty well at communicating, but I know a few aren't. Alan Alma says, "Are we still going to be able to use the cards?" I don't know, Alma. I don't know. I was kind of thinking that that was all over with the game portion of this, but it does not look like we're going to be coming back this year. So, you know, if you want to use it, go for it. Message me and tell me what you want to do with it, and we'll make it happen. Lily, you can see right here. Lily got the message, so her partners can see this. No one else in the class can see this when you go in the classroom. So hopefully, her partner just got like a notification. If if you guys have the classroom app on your phone, I recommend you get it, and then she would be able to respond this way. Thank you, Lily. Um, Abby, who's that? Is it optional to create an ad? Yeah, all these things are optional. You have to spend $5,000, but how you want to spend it, that's going to be up to you. Um, you'll probably do an advertisement of some sort, I would imagine, but You want probably 5 to 10 things on here when all is said and done. Any other questions? The script thing. Who are we advertising to who? Script thing. Lily, I'm not sure I understand that question. Script thing. Who are you going to advertise to? Okay. I think I understand. You guys pitch documents. Okay, so the pitch documents are to your client. They're not to the customer. So if your client, my client was Roots, which is like a social media thing I was creating, that's my client. And when you pitch, you're pitching to them. What you're basically saying to them is, hey, with the company gave you $10,000. You guys pocket $5,000, which is the cost of doing their graphic design work. The other $5,000 is for you to spend in order to generate income for your company, for your client. So what you're going to do is you're going to pitch to them and say, hey, here's the brand we built for you guys. Here's how we think you should spend the rest of your money. Here's why we think this is going to bring in a lot of business. And then if your client's satisfied, and your client's going to be me in that case, then you get a good grade. And if your client thinks that you didn't spend the money wisely and you didn't build a very solid brand for them, then you're not going to receive as good of a grade. So does that answer your question, Lily? And you don't need to worry about your pitch document yet. That's okay, good. Okay. Any last questions, last chance?
No.
Cool. Thank you, Adrian. Adrian speaks for all of you. So I will be ending this meeting now. And thanks, guys. If you have any other questions, just send me a message. Bye.
Bye, Mr. Janelli.
Bye.